Not only did God call Jonah, secondly, Jonah disobeyed God. Jonah disobeyed God. If we go back to the first chapter of Jonah and look at verse 3. But, there's that word, but Jonah arose to flee to Tarshish. That's not where God told him to go. But Jonah arose to flee to Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. He went down to Joppa and found a ship going to Tarshish. So he paid the fare and went down into it to go with them to Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. In other words, Jonah fled from God. God called Jonah, and Jonah went the other way. You know, whenever we, as children, weren't doing what we needed to be doing and our parents called us, that's when we usually went the other way, wasn't it? Husbands, when you're supposed to do something around the house and you don't do it and you hear your wife calling, what do? You go the other way, right? I hope not. But many do. Jonah knew that God had called him to do something. But instead of obeying God, he went the other way. The opposite direction. And that's when his troubles began. Friends, if you think you have troubles, disobey God when He calls you to do something. You'll find out what troubles really are. That's what happened to Jonah. And when we disobey God, we have sinned. It's sin, plain and simple. When God tells us to do something and we fail to do it, that is called a sin of omission. And often it's the worst type of sin we can commit. How's that? Well, God calls me to go to someone and share the gospel with them, and I don't do it, and they die and go to hell. Look at what's happened. Look at what's happened. That's on me. That's on me.